ಎದೆ ತಟ್ಟಿ ಹೇಳುವೆ ಭಾರತ್ ಮಾತಾ ಕಿ ಮೈ ಮುನಾ ಮೈದಿನ್ ಸಂಯೋಜಕಿ ಆರ್ತಿಯ ಕರೆಯೋಲೆ ಭಾವೈಕ್ಯ ಸರಮಾಲೆ ಜೀವನದ ಉಯ್ಯಾಲೆ ಸ್ನೇಹ ಸೌಹಾರ್ದ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಈ ದಿನದ ಸಮ್ಮಿಲನ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆಮಂತ್ರಣ ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ನಾಡಿ ಇದು ಅವರ ಆಯೋಜನೆಯ ಮುನ್ನುಡಿ ಜಾತಿ ಭೇದವೆಂಬ ಮುಳ್ಳು ಕನ್ನಡಿ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತೇಲಾಡೋ ತಕ್ಕಡಿ ದುಃಖಕ್ಕಿಂದು ಅಲಂಕಾರ ತಾಯಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮಮಕಾರ ಕೇಳಿ ನೋಡು ಈ ಮನುಜಾನಿ ಉಪಚಾರ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಇವರು ಸಂಗೀತ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆಯ ಸಾಟಿ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ವಾತ್ಸಲ್ಯದ ಮುಂದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶೂನ್ಯವೋ ನಾನೆಂಬ ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಯಾಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಏನಿದ್ದೇನು ನಾಳೆ ಹೋಗೋದ್ ಮಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ತಾಯಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಂತೆ ಕಳೆವ ನಾವು ಇಂದು ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮಿಗಿಲಾದ ಸ್ವರ್ಗ ಎಂದು ಸಿಗದು ಇತಿಹಾಸ ಪುಟದಲ್ಲೂ ಹೃದಯದ ಪಟದಲ್ಲೂ ಸ್ನೇಹ ಎಂಬ ಚಿತ್ರವೇ ಅರೆರೆ ತಿರಂಗದ ಚಲನ ಬಾಂಧವ್ಯದ ಈ ಮಿಲನ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ಆಮಂತ್ರಣ ಢಾನ್ 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 ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ನಾಡಿ ಇದು ಅವರ ಆಯೋಜನೆಯ ಮುನ್ನುಡಿ ಜಾತಿ ಭೇದವೆಂಬ ಮುಳ್ಳು ಕನ್ನಡಿ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತೇಲಾಡೋ ತಕ್ಕಡಿ
Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are free, can we put our hands together for Nizam Talapuram from Star Singers Mangaluru. Let us hear for Nizam if you are free.
ईद मुबारक सब लोगों को हमारा ईद मुबारक ईद मुबारक ईद मुबारक सब लोगों को हमारा ईद मुबारक തക്ബീരിനലയൊലി പൊങ്ങുന്നു തൗഹീദി മന്ത്രമുണരുന്നു മാലോകർ ശുക്രോതുന്നു മാനവരൊന്നായി പാടുന്നു മുബാരക് 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 ഈദ് മുബാരക് 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 ആകാശത്തിരനീന്തിയണഞ്ഞു പൊന്നുനിലാത്തോണി ആകെ ലോകക്കാരും കണ്ടു ശവ്വാലം പീലി പുണ്യമാസം റമദാനും വിട ചൊല്ലി പിരിഞ്ഞു പുണ്യമേറും രാവുകളോർമ്മകളായി വൈകും ദേവി പുണ്യമാസം റമദാനും വിട ചൊല്ലി പിരിഞ്ഞു പുണ്യമേറും രാവുകളോർമ്മകളായി വൈകും ദേവി മനസ്സുകളൊന്നായി തേടി മധുഹുകളമ്പിൽ പാടി മലമാടി മധു തേടും കണ്ടും തോളി പാടുന്നു ആകെ ലോകക്കാരും കണ്ടു ശവ്വാലം പീലി പാടി ഈമാനുള്ള മനസ്സുകളൊന്നായി കൂടി നമ്മിൽ തേടി ഈ നാളിൽ മർഹബയോനി തെന്നല് പാടി ഈമാനുള്ള മനസ്സുകളൊന്നായി കൂടി നമ്മിൽ തേടി വന്നല്ലോ പെരുന്നാള് ഈദുൽ ഫിത്ർ നാള് ആഘോഷമായി നാളിലായി മർഹബ പാടാം മുബാരക് 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 മന്ത്രമുണരുന്നു ആരോഗ്യം ശുചിതുരുന്നു മാനവരൊന്നായി പാടുന്നു
Performance of the day, that is by Mr. Shakir Kasargod. So let us hear now the beautiful, amazing voice of Shakir Kasargod. Over to you.
Ji
पीर का सरकार ख्वाजा जी ख्वाजा
Para
Hands together to welcome the dignitaries on the stage with the Dakku. ದಿವಸದ ಹಬ್ಬದ ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಮನುಕುಲದ ಶಾಂತಿಗಾಗಿ ಸುಭಿಕ್ಷೆಗಾಗಿ ದೇವರಲ್ಲಿ ಐಕ್ಯತೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ಶುಭ ದಿನದಂದು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. May I call upon Lion T. Khalid to present the Kirat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغلوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتشهدن يومئذ عن النعيم.
Please be raised for the silent prayer for the well-being of the humanity. May I request once again to raise respect to the departed soul of Lion N. Niranjan, Chief District Coordinator Events and Celebrations from Lions Club Sakleshpur. We will now raise for silent prayer. Thank you. Lion Maimuna Moidin with a welcome note.
Respected District Governor Santi Shetty, First Lady of the District Pragati Shetty, Multiple Council Chairperson Vasant Kumar Shetty, our keynote speaker Janab Umar TK, guests of honor Dr. Melvin D'Souza, First Vice District Governor, B.M. Bharati, Second Vice District Governor, Micro Cabinet Members, Team Eid, Past District Governors, members of Lions family, Rotarians, JCs, invited guests, media persons, and my dear family members present here. Good evening, everyone. At the outset, I thank our District Governor, Lion Santi Shetty, for the opportunity given to me as the Chief Coordinator of District Celebrations, Eid. Thank you, sir. We are all gathered here this pleasant evening with a beautiful ambience for the Eid celebrations of the Lions District Events 2022, Eid Sambrama. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to the Eid Sambrama. At the outset, let me welcome our vibrant leader, Lion Santi Shetty, District Governor, District 317, to the Eid Sambrama. Hearty welcome to you, Sir Lion Santi Shetty. I welcome First Lady of the District Lion Pragati Shetty to the celebration. Dr. Pragati Ma'am. A cordial welcome to our dynamic multiple council chairperson, Lion Vasant Kumar Shetty, and his wife Lion Vidya Shetty. TKS Group Bangalore has graciously accepted our invitation to deliver the keynote address. A hearty welcome to you, Mr. Umar. A very warm welcome to my sister, Subhita TK. I also welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Melvin D'Souza, our First Vice Governor, and Srimati B.M. Bharati, Second Vice District Governor. I welcome all the dignitaries on and off the dais, past district governors, all my fellow Lions, invitees to this joyous celebration. I also welcome all the members of the press and media. Welcome you all once again. Eid Mubarak, long live Lionism.
inauguration of the Eid Samrama 2022-23, and this will be done by the District Governor Lion Sanjeev Shetty PMJF. Done, and the inauguration of Eid Samrama 2022-23 is done. ತಪ್ಪುವಿನ ಸುನಾದದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈದ್ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಿದ್ಯುಕ್ತವಾಗಿ ಉದ್ಘಾಟಿಸಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್. ಲಯನ್ ಸಂಜೀವ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಆನ್ ಬಿಹಾಫ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಈದ್ ಟೀಮ್.
Presiding, my dear sister Maimuna Mohidin, guest keynote speaker Umar DK and his spouse, guest of honor multiple council chairperson Vasan Kumar Shetty, first vice governor Melvin D'Souza, second vice governor PM Bharati, Mr. Cabinet Secretary Anil Kumar, Mr. Cabinet Treasurer Rammohan Alva, Harish Alva, Srinivas Pujari Velkar, Praveen Shetty and Prasad Rai Kalima, and all the proud past governors and my brothers and sisters in the cause of service. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಸಾಲು ಸಂತೋಷದ ವಿವಿಧ ಆಚರಣೆಗಳ ನಂತರ ಇಂದು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಈದ್ ಹಬ್ಬದ ಸಂಭ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಉತ್ಸಾಹ ನೋಡಿ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಳ್ಳಲು ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಈದ್ನ ಅರ್ಥವೇ ಹಬ್ಬ ಅಂತ ಹಬ್ಬದ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಮುದವನ್ನು ನೀಡುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಸಂಯೋಜಿಸಿದಂಥ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಅಕ್ಕನಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಮೈಮುನಾ ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ತಂಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ನನಗೆ ತಿಳಿದಿರುವಂತೆ ಈ ಹಬ್ಬವು ತ್ಯಾಗಗಳ ಬಲಿದಾನಗಳ ಹಬ್ಬ. ಕುಟುಂಬ ಹಾಗೂ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರ ಜೊತೆಗೂಡಿ ಸಂತೋಷವನ್ನು ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅಗತ್ಯವಿರುವ ಬಡವರಿಗೆ ಆಹಾರ ಮತ್ತು ಇತರ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಡುವ ಮೂಲಕ ಸೇವೆಯ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ್ಯವನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯುವ, ಆ ಮೂಲಕ ದೇವರ ಪ್ರೀತಿಗೆ ಸಮಾಜದ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾತ್ರರಾಗುವ ಸುಸಂದರ್ಭ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವಿಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಸೇವೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಾಂಗತ್ಯದ ಪ್ರತಿರೂಪವೇ ಈದ್ ಹಬ್ಬ ಎನ್ನಬಹುದು. ದೇವರ ಹೆಸರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮೀಯರಿಗೆ ಆಚರಿಸುವ ಈ ಹಬ್ಬ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಬಂಧುವಿಗೂ ಸುಖ, ಸಂತೋಷ, ನೆಮ್ಮದಿ ನೀಡಲೆಂದು ಆ ದೇವರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಈದ್ ಹಬ್ಬದ ಆಚರಣೆಯನ್ನು ವಿವಿಧ ತಿಂಡಿಗಳು ಇರಬಹುದು, ಮನೋರಂಜನೆ, ಮೆಹಂದಿ, ಬಳೆಗಳು, ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೂ ಇರಬಹುದು, ದಫ್ನ ಮೂಲಕ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಸಭಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ನಂತರ ಇರುವ ಈದ್ನ ದಾವತ್ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ವೈಭವಯುತವಾಗಿ ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿರುವ ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಮೈಮುನಾ ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಅವರ ತಂಡ, ರಹತುನ್ನಿಸಾ, ಇಬ್ಬರು ಅಬ್ದುಲ್ ಖಾದಿರ್, ಅಬೂಬಕರ್ ಕುಕ್ಕಾಡಿ, ಖಾಲಿದ್ ಚಿ, ನೂರ್ಜಹಾನ್ ಅಬೂಬಕರ್, ಅಬ್ದುಲ್ ಲತೀಫ್, ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಇಕ್ಬಾಲ್ ಶೇಖ್, ಮುಕ್ತಿಯಾರ್ ಅಹಮದ್, ಅಂತೆ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಅಡ್ವೈಸರ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥ ಆತ್ಮೀಯರಾಗಿದ್ದ ಲಯನ್ ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನ್ ಕುಂಜಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಜೊತೆಗಿರುವ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರೂ ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ನಮ್ಮ ಈದಿನ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಸಮಾನತೆ, ಸಹೋದರತೆ ಸಾರುವ ಹಬ್ಬ ಈದ್. ಬಡವ ಬಲ್ಲಿದರ ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವ ಗೋಡೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೆಡವಿ ಒಂದು ಹಂತದವರೆಗೆ ಸಮಾನತೆಯನ್ನು ಕಾಯ್ದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಹಬ್ಬ ಈದ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್. ಮನುಷ್ಯರ ನಡುವೆ ಜಾತಿಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ನಡೆಯುವ ತಿಕ್ಕಾಟದ ಈ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಉದಯಿಸುವ ಹಬ್ಬ ಈದ್ ಹಬ್ಬ. ಇದುವೇ ಬಾಂಧವ್ಯದ, ಸಹೋದರತ್ವದ, ಸಮಾನತೆಯ ಬದುಕಿಗೆ ನಾಂದಿಯಾಗಲಿ. ನನ್ನ ಸಹೋದರ ಸಹೋದರಿಯರೇ, ಇಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಶಾಂತಿ, ಸೌಹಾರ್ದ, ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ, ನವ ಚೈತನ್ಯ. ರಂಜಾನ್ ಉಪವಾಸ ಮುಗಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಆಚರಿಸುವ ಹಬ್ಬ ಈದ್ ಹಬ್ಬ. ಇಂದಿನ ಈ ಹಂತದ ಸಂತಸದ ಹಬ್ಬದ ದಿವಸಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮನುಕುಲದ ಶಾಂತಿಗಾಗಿ, ಸುಭಿಕ್ಷೆಗಾಗಿ, ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಗಾಗಿ ದೇವರಲ್ಲಿ ಐಕ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನು ಈ ಶುಭದಿಂದ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸೋಣ. ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಲಯನ್ಸ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ತನು ಮನದಿಂದ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಸಹಕಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಸಹೋದರ ಸಹೋದರಿ ನಾನು ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಾನು ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನ್ ಕುಂಜಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ತಂಡದವರಿಗೆ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಈದ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಉದ್ಘಾಟಿಸಲು ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಮೂಡಿ ಬರಲು ಹಾರೈಸುತ್ತಾ ಅವಕಾಶಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ವಂದಿಸಿ ಮಾತು ಮುಗಿಸಿದ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಲಿವ್ ಲಯನ್ಸ್.
Being honored with the presence of past district governor Lion Ronald Gomes, the past district governor Keith Prakash, past district governor V.U. Simon and Molly Simon, the past district governor J.K. Rao, and the past district governor Alvin Patrick Patrao. We are honored with your presence, sir. We recognize your presence too. Thank you.
ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಸಾಧಿಸಬೇಕೆಂಬ ಛಲ ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದರೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಓರ್ವ ಮುಗಿಲೆತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಏರುವಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂದೇಹ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈಸಬೇಕು ಇದ್ದು ಜಯಿಸಬೇಕು ಎನ್ನುವಂತೆ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಯಾವುದೇ ಇರಲಿ, ಸತತ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಿಂದ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಹತ್ ಸಾಧನೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಅಂಥವರನ್ನ ಇದೀಗ ಗುರುತಿಸುವ ಸಮಯ. May I call upon the Eid awardees for the day, Miss Likita Mohammad Abid Ali and Miss Soumya on stage. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಲಿಖಿತಾ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಅಬೀದ್ ಅಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸೌಮ್ಯ ವೇದಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಅಲಂಕರಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಪ್ರೀತಿಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ವಿನಂತಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak to all. It's a proud privilege for the Eid team to honor a three outstanding personalities who achieved a great performance in their life. First of all, in a brief 2, 3, 4 lines, I will finish. Our teacher Soumya, she is a special school teacher, Lions Club, Suratkal. She is a trainer who trains our special school children in games, sports, and they got many awards in state level and in the national level. Ladies and gentlemen, just ಇವರೊಂದು ಕಿರುಪರಿಚಯವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲು ನನಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಇವರು ಸುರತ್ಕಲ್ ಚಿತ್ರಾಪುರ ನಿವಾಸಿ, ಪ್ರಾಥಮಿಕ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಬೈಕಂಪಾಡಿ, educated at Besant College, got her diploma in special education at KPMRC College, Bangalore. At present, she is working at Lions Special School, Suratkal, for the last 9 years. Our special school children participated in various sports and games held at Gujarat, Kerala, Bangalore, Delhi, Ahmedabad, won many awards. This has happened only due to the training given by his great teacher, Soumya. Our special student, Nikita, is here and she participated in specified Olympic Unified Cup 2022 in female football held at Michigan, USA. Got bronze medal. She bronze medal to India. And for this bronze medal, she is dedicated to this teacher, the students is. Ladies and gentlemen, and every credit goes to, it's a brief introduction. We are allowed to honor her this evening.
Madam, I request you to come up on stage and be seated. Dear friends, it is said, starting point of all achievement is desire. So ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together as this desirous woman, Dr. Sakina Nasir, walks up to the dais. May I request Lion Abdul Kader, MJF, to introduce Dr. Sakina Nasir.
Immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Sakina Nasir to this august gathering. Dr. Sakina Nasir, born and brought up in Baikampodi, did her schooling at Kendriya Vidyalaya, Panambur. Sakina Nasir did her masters in economics from Bangalore University in 1982. Married to Muhammad Nasir, professor of Fisheries College of Mangalore. They are blessed with a daughter, Fatima Natalia, who is married and settled in the US. After a short period as a lecturer in Fisheries College of Mangalore, she started her teaching career at Besant College as an economics lecturer. In the year 2006, she joined SVS College Bantwal as HOD in Economics Department. While in service, she got MPhil degree in economics. She also presented many research publications in national and international journals. Among her publications, I would like to mention few important details: self-help groups and women empowerment, minorities welfare, a need, empowering women, a study of Muslim women in Karnataka, gender equality and education with special preference on higher education, issues of women empowerment among Muslim community, microfinance and women empowerment in rural India, role of NGOs in promoting women entrepreneurship in Dakshina Kannada and challenges faced by them. Here is Dr. Sakina Nasir. She obtained PhD economics in 2020. The topic was discrimination and exclusion, a study on access to to education and employment of Muslim women in Karnataka. Eid team is proud to honor Dr. Sakina Nasser at this Eid Samrama. Thank you and all.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be honored on this colorful festive occasion. It's really indeed a joyful thing. On behalf of all the young achievers today, Ms. Likita, Ms. Soumya, and I think they had to honor another boy. Today, I don't know, there's one Mr. Abidali, all young achievers, for identifying and honoring these young achievers. They truly deserve appreciation because they are a true source of inspiration to all our youngsters. And I'm more humbled and in fact pleased that they have placed me one among them, amongst the young achievers. So I'm all the more happy. Hope I too will have a long way to go like these young achievers. Thank you all so much. Thank you the entire Lions family for giving me this honor of being felicitated. Thank you all so much.
District Governor Speaker Umar sir, dignitaries on the days and my dear members of Lions family. The biggest real estate in anybody's life is finding a if I can connect it to anybody, there are many people, but one of them is today's keynote speaker. A successful entrepreneur and a great human being, an extraordinary philanthropist, and more than anything else, very passionate adventurist also. He is the founder of TK Group, which has a couple of companies under its umbrella, mainly handling interior fit-out solutions and allied services for corporate workplaces in India. Over 2,000 workers work under him under the supervision of 150 engineers in offices and various projects across India. He is an engineering graduate from NITK Surathkal with a postgraduate diploma in management. He is also an alumnus of Harvard Business School, having completed his ownership president management course there. He heads TK Foundation, an independent trust promoted by TK's group that has been making significant contribution in the field of education and rural areas. He is also the trustee of Premanjali Foundation, a well-known NGO in Bangalore, catering to homeless children and underprivileged through various outreaching projects. He is currently the honorary president of Muslim Educational Institution Federation, which has more than 150 schools and colleges under its umbrella spread across Dakshina Kannada and Udupi district. He is a voracious reader and an excellent speaker also. He has traveled across the world and is passionate about nature, wildlife and adventure sports. Listen to me very carefully. In 2007, he summited Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest peak in South Africa. And 2008, he participated in Antarctica expedition with a part of Illumina's team of Harvard. Married to Dr. Zubeda, and he has two daughters, one in architect practicing in Chicago and the other working is for a fund management company, Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, present before you the greatest philanthropist, a great friend and a great interior decorator, my dear friend, everybody's friend, Mr. Umar TK for you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Lion Vijay Vishnumaya.
Respected District Governor Lion Sanchit Shetty, Mrs. Sanchit Shetty, immediate past District Governor Mr. Vasant Kumar Shetty, Mrs. Shetty, and the president of this evening's function, and the district coordinator, Mahimana Mohidin and Mr. Mohidin, the first VDG, Dr. Melvin D'Souza, and the second VGD, Ms. Bharati, all the dignitaries on the dais, the coordinating committee members, the executive committee members, distinguished lions, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. A very good evening to all of you. Assalamu alaikum and Eid Mubarak. Eid Mubarak simply means may your festival be blessed. So Eid Mubarak again. I've been dodging this talk for the last 3-4 years with Maimuna and Wahidin. Not because I had no interest to speak, but sorry, I must have done countless speech on general religion and sometime on Islam. And sorry to be starting on a negative note, but in the last few years, the atmosphere has vitiated so much that there is always this little amount of reservation inside to speak about generally any religion and more so about Islam. And it's in fact, there is always a certain amount of apprehension that if you speak about Islam, will it be construed as a pitch? Will it be construed as an attempt to sell and convince? Which is in fact a sort of a tragedy of our times, that one really needs to convince about any religion or one's religion. Because after all, the very purpose of religion was to unite the society. The very purpose of religion was to organize the society and bring certain amount of orderliness by disciplining the individual in a way that everyone in that society can enjoy peaceful coexistence. And at the same time, every individual could aim for his own personal development and aim for that ultimate goal in life, that is self-fulfillment. And the very fact that these religions have lasted for thousands of years is testimony to the fact that they do not need any more justification that they have served humanity in the right earnest. But then, there are times that one needs to inform each other about the merits of one's religion so as to dispel if there are any misgivings and misunderstandings. And only that, in order to do that, there has to be a conducive atmosphere. There has to be a basic human respect for each other. There has to be a basic faith that notwithstanding what is the outward difference, every religion in the underlying principles are all the same. They are honesty, humility, equality, justice, fraternity, benevolence, and things like that. Now, here is an audience which thinks it fit to celebrate Eid along with Diwali and Christmas, and I'm really feeling the pride and the honor to stand in front of you and say a few words about religion in general and Islam in particular. And before I do that, I must begin with a disclaimer that I don't stand here as a Muslim speaking about Islam. I stand here as an ardent student of comparative religious studies. And I could speak about generally, you give me a topic and I can speak about any religion because I have done so much of studies on that over the years. And I must begin with a small anecdote. It may sound a bit autobiographical, but it's in the context. Kindly pardon me on that. I'm a Muslim, brought up in an Orthodox Muslim family. By the time I came to my 10th, 11th standard, I had studied so much about Islam. And then when I came to Surathkal Engineering College in 1974-75, instead of being an ardent fan of Islam, I developed an aversion for generally any religion, and more so to Islam, because a lot of things, the lot of logic, the lot of rituals did not fit into our logic and did not fit into the so-called scientific frame of our mind. And I turned into a rebel. I was an agnostic. And once religion went out of the system, a lot of things came which cannot be exactly described as moral or ethical. And I was all the same a social worker in Surathkal, an orator. And I came across this wonderful gentleman called Dr. M.R. Gajendragad. You all know about him. He was a professor of chemistry, excellent orator, and an excellent human being, and a scholar of a highest caliber. Now, in one of the chance occasions, I happened to tell him that how much I hate religion and why I love being an agnostic. And he listened to me and he said that I respect your views. You seem to be a well-read man. but I'll give you a book. For my sake, read that and then tell me about your opinion. I dodged him for a couple of days. And then one fine day, he caught me in the corridor. He said, you didn't collect your book. And so I had to go to his department. After all, he was my professor. And then he handed over to me, I remember, a brown envelope. I expected it to be probably a copy of Quran, or probably there's a wonderful book in Islam called Towards Understanding Islam. I thought it's a copy of that. But when I opened it, I had the biggest surprise of my life. It was a copy of Bhagavad Gita by Rajaji. I was totally stunned. My first opinion was that, what a traitor, a Muslim scholar and selling a Hindu, because I didn't even know until then that he was a Muslim scholar, because that MR stood for Mohinuddin Rahmatullah Gajendragad, and he was a scholar of the highest order. He said, I want you to read this, begin with this. And it took me a while, because it was his personal copy and he has underlined, I had to read it, because I had to return the copy to him. And it took me a while to find the traction in that. And once I started reading that, I was simply mesmerized by the beauty of its poetic language, the flow of its thoughts, the depth of its wisdom. But having said that, I must also tell you that I was left with more confusion and more question. The questions like, is this a right thing? Why so much violence? Is it dharma? Can Krishna, who calls himself a god, can he do this? Is it ethical? There were questions and questions and questions about Gita. And it took me several sittings with him where he patiently went through everything. And then at the end of the day, I was totally sold on Gita. And then he did the next most surprising thing. He handed over a copy of Quran and he said that, read this now. And I protested. I said that I have read it so many times. I have read everything. He said, no, read it now. I want you to read it. And as I started reading, I was totally amazed at the turn of events. And each thing started looking so very different to me, and everything fell into perspective. And so many doubts and the illogical things that I had was already explained in the context of Gita, because Gita was much simpler to understand, and Quran is a very complex text to understand. And at the end of the day, I had no doubt left. And then he did the next best thing in my life. He gave me a piece of advice, which in today's evening, if you don't take home anything, take just this part and especially tell your children. He gave me this piece of advice. He said that every child is born with certain things which you cannot shake them off with. You have to be, because they become a part of your system. They become a part of your subconscious. Chinmaya said, it becomes a part of your intellectual conviction. And they are your parents, your siblings, your immediate family, your surrounding and your society, your religion, and the land that you're born. No matter how much you hate, how much aversion that you have for this, you just have to buy peace with them, because they are a part of your system. You can hate them only at the expense of hating yourself, and you'll never be peaceful. And ever since, I did not have any doubt about that, because if you really look at the essence of any religion, it's all about finding peace with yourself. And in order that you find peace with yourself, it's necessary that you find peace with your surroundings and everything else. And this, in fact, is also the essence of Islam, more so, because the very basic word, the root word of Islam is salam, which means peace. It's about peace with yourself, peace with your fellow human beings, peace with your fellow creatures, peace with the nature, peace with the environment, and peace with the cause of all these creations, which we call as a creator, or loosely we call as Bhagwan, Allah, no matter what. And if you had no faith in that, it's all about the cause behind all this creation. He is called creator. And the earlier you find peace with this one source, everything else falls in place. In fact, the entire faith of Islam is that. It just stands on just two statements. Number one is that everything that happens, the entire credit goes to the Creator, and all judgments are the Creator's, and you have got no voice on that. This is karmanya vadhikarasya ma phaleshu kadashina. You can only do so much, and the entire result is in His hand, and the earlier you accept it, then you are peaceful about that. And what Muhammad Khalid, the Khalid who read the Qiraat, the opening statement of Fatiha, The Fatiha has got just 7 verses. The first 2 sentences are just this: the entire credit to you and your judgment is final. And then we say that to you only we worship. And the last 2 sentences, or 2.5 or 3 sentences, is Prophet Muhammad said, is the shortest and the best prayer that you can ever have. The prayer is only so much, which is what Mr. Khalid said. I wished he had given the meaning of that. It says that, "O Lord," this is the prayer, "O Lord, guide me on the right path, the path in which the people with whom you are pleased walked, and not the path who earned your wrath and went astray." The prayer is all about guide me on the right path. It doesn't ask for anything else. And then symbolically Quran opens, which is supposed to be the right path. And trust me, gentlemen, I don't say this as Muslim. Read sometime with meaning. This is an amazing piece of book. This is a book in a small version. You can put it in a pocket. It's just about that. But the amount of information, if you read it with an open mind, it can contain. It's got history, it's got geography, it's got biology, it's got astronomy. It tells you how a little child takes shape in the mother's womb. It tells you how a little frog finds its food in the crevices of a rock. And it tells you just about everything: warfare, economy, giving, charity, everything. And then you know that for a religion to be a religion, there are 5 essentials. Number 1 is a philosophy. In the Hindu thing, it is the Upanishads. And then the rituals, which are the Veda. And then the Puranas, which are the mythology. And then the code of conduct, which is the Gita. And then the spirituality, which is the umpty number of the texts, the Hindu texts that we have. In Quran, all these things are intertwined so well, and there are no separation. There is no separate chapter for that. It just jumps from history to a parable, and suddenly it tells you an admonition, and it quotes a rule. And it is just, we believe that it's impossible for a human being to have ever written this little book. Just to give you an example, the law of succession in Islam. And today, voluminous book. If you just go to a library and say, look at voluminous, there are at least 3 volumes of 600, 700 pages, and the courts rely on that. In the entire Quran, this is in just 5 crisp sentences. Just 5 sentences, and there is no contradiction. The entire lot of summary is written on those 5 sentences. Never is there a contradiction. And over so many years, Quran has not contradicted anything. And today you know that the entire Arab world follows one grammar, and that is Quran's grammar, because it's supposed to be a perfect grammar. And this is something that is amazing. I'll tell you, this is a lesser known fact. This is called the miracle of Quran. Now, the opposite words, man and woman, it appears in different places. And you know that Quran appeared over 23 years, from the 40th years to 63th year of Prophet. And it came in different portions, and he just kept uttering. This man was totally unlettered. He could not read and write. He had no contact with any big things. And the whole history that he talked about, the Abrahamic history, turned so true ultimately compared with the Old Testament and things like that. And he had no access to those kind of a thing. He just kept uttering those kind of a thing. So that's why we believe that he would have gone the inspiration to recite this Quran. This opposite words that I was telling about, man and woman, appears in different places, exactly 24 times. And dunya and akhirah, that means that this world and the next world, appears 115 times in different places. And life and death appears 145. There's many things like that. And the surprise of the surprise is that sea and land appears 32 times and 13 times. And if you really notice, today we know that that is exactly the ratio of sea to land, 71% to 28 point some percent. So this is a miracle of this little book, and that's why we believe that it should be from the Allah, exactly like how Vyasa wrote the Vedas, because this is not humanly impossible books. And Islam believes that there are 120,000 prophets, and we believe that every saint that we revere in every religion must have been a prophet, and we have no quarrels about that. And Islam came into, the first verse came in Ramzan, and that is why we fast for 30 days in Ramzan, purely in gratitude. And what we do in Ramzan, we fight our inner evils, we fight our desires, we fight our passions inside. And this is exactly the fight against what we call as the Arishad You know, the Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Mada, Masara. This is what we fight, and that is the exact meaning of jihad. Today, jihad is such a badly mangled word. And jihad is all about that. And at the end of Ramzan, we celebrate that Ramzan Eid, which is a celebration of our victory over our inner those passions. And this is one of the essence of Islam, because there are only 5 essence of Islam. One is, there is nothing else. Islam is the least ritualistic religion, if you know. The first is that a belief that there is only one Lord. In fact, Allah is not the name of a Muslim God like most of the people. Allah is an Arabic word for creator. There is only one creator. There is no concept about that. And it says that Muhammad is only his messenger. That's the first one. Second is that you pray 5 times. That's the only ritual in Islam. To keep swearing your allegiance to this religion. And the third one is that out of your wealth, compulsorily, you have to give 2.5% to the needy. Every year on year, whatever is the wealth in your possession for 1 year, 2.5% must be given. And the fourth one is the Ramzan, that fasting. And the fifth one is Hajj. If it is, you can afford it, if physically. And Hajj, a lot of people you may not know, we go for Hajj, we say the pilgrimage. Hajj is a celebration or living the spirit of Prophet Abraham left. Because Islam is an Abrahamic religion like Christianity and Judaism. And the patron saint, or the patron prophet is Prophet Abraham, who lived about 5,000 years ago. And he was an embodiment of an ultimate surrender to Creator. And Muhammad said, I don't believe in ritual, but this is one ritual. All my followers to come to Arab and go through the same thing that he did when he got an order from God saying that if you really love me, sacrifice your son. And the story goes that he tried to sacrifice his son, and then instead of the son, a goat's neck came, and that is why he called Bakrid. And that is there are only 2 festivals. One is the Ramzan Eid and one is the Bakrid. And in Bakrid, well, Ramzan is the celebration of your victory over your inner self. And Bakrid, your celebration of your success in the total surrender to the will of God. So you're taken it out of your system and you're surrendering to God. And in order to understand, I'll take a few more minutes, if you don't mind. Yeah. In order to understand Quran, it's very important to understand Prophet Muhammad. This man was an orphan. And by the time he was 25 years, he was so popular in that little world. He was a small-time businessman. And he was called an Amin, which means that he is in record, has never have uttered a lie. And Quran keeps telling that he is a man who never made a mistake in life. In fact, there's only one place Quran says, "Oh Muhammad, you made a mistake." And that is when he turned his face away from a widow who was pleading with him. If at all you can call that a mistake. And Quran points out that, "Oh Muhammad, you made your first mistake." And he was a man of unlettered. He did not know anything about anything. And he just lived by a principle. He was the simplest of the man. And he was a compassionate man. And at the same time, he was ruthless in implementing certain laws. And in all, he fought 27 battles and about 60 expeditions as far away as 2,000 miles. And in all, there was 1,008 deaths. And Michael Hart, the historian who chronicled this, says that by the end of his prophethood, the entire Arab peninsula from one end to the other end, for thousands of miles, which was mired in barbarism, which was mired in all kind of crime and looting, was so safe and it was cleansed so much that a single lady in the dead of the night can walk from one end of Arab to the other end without having the slightest apprehension that she'll be harmed. That's the level of transformation that he brought in his lifetime and not post that, in that 23 years that he's been there. And immediately after him, his closest disciple and the senior most, Abu Bakr, took over as the caliph, and there are many stories about him. And there was a section of his Muslims who said that it should have passed on hereditarily to his son-in-law Ali, and they went in rebel because Ali, ironically himself, paid his allegiance to Abu Bakr. And so people who said Ali should have been, he walked out in protest, and they are called the Shias. In case if you wanted to know the difference between Sunnis and Shias. They went to Iran and started settling down, and the rest of the people are all Sunnis. And Islam spread after that fast. Unlike the belief that it spread on the point of a sword, because Islam did not spread initially in the point of the sword, because Islam did not spread because of the kings and the invaders. They spread because of the scholars and the Sufi saints who went around preaching. And who are the first believers? Were the people who are the have-nots, who had the need, because they were mesmerized by the classless society concept, the equality, and the spirit of giving, because it is they who are benefiting and not the people who had the wealth and the prosperity. And that's the reason today you will see a lot of poverty, a lot of ignorance, a lot of illiteracy, a lot of filth, a lot of disease among the Muslims. It's not because of Islam, because inherently they were the people who accepted Islam. And today also terrorism is associated with Islam. There's no argument over the fact that today at the root of terrorism, there are many Muslim organizations. But to attribute that to Islam or Muhammad is a disservice not just to Islam but to humanity, because that is what divides us. Because it's not about Islam or Muhammad. Because if it was so, Islam has been around for 1,500 years today. And for 1,450 years, there is no recorded history of terrorism. The first ever terrorism happened in 1917 Munich Olympic, if you remember, where the Palestinian army, liberation army people kidnapped those 12 brilliant Israeli athletes and killed them, massacred them ruthlessly. And even then it was not called Islamic terrorism. And the first name came when Moscow occupied Afghanistan, where the Taliban raised their ugly head, supported by the West, to fight Russia. And then in 1992, when Iraq got invaded, the circle was complete. And after that, Islam did not have a chance to survive from this blemish, saying that Islam is a terrorist organization. But then I want to quote one small incident from Prophet Muhammad's life as to how tolerant this man was. Today, there are organizations called Jaish-e-Muhammad, and they go around killing innocent people. And look at this man. And incidentally, all these anecdotes are very authentic because they are all recorded by 6 scholars at different time, at different places, and only when they are common to all these people that we believe that they are authentic. The anecdote goes like that. It was an evening prayer time in Medina, and in the mosque, there was a small mosque, mud hut mosque, there was a heated argument between a Muslim and a Jew, and the Jew, in a fit of rage, comes inside the mosque and in full public view passes urine in a place where Muhammad stands for his prayer. And there was commotion, they tied him to a thing and they were about to lynch him, and the commotion, Muhammad comes out and he said, what happened? And they said, right, this is what happened. And he said that in all these things, you forgot the most important thing. They said, what? You didn't clean up the place. So he brings 2 buckets of water, pours it on that, and takes a broom and starts cleaning the place. And everybody joins him. And then they say, what do we do with the man? He says, this is a doctrine of Islam. Ignorance does not deserve punishment. Ignorance needs understanding, empathy, and teaching. Teach him the good things. This is what he said. And I always, what is it that makes these saints and the prophets and the Vyasas sort of tick for so many years? Look at Shankaracharya, sir. He lived for just 31 years. Born in Kaladi, knew only Malayalam. Look at the way he went around India organizing things. How he could have done that? Jesus lived for just 32 years in a nowhere, nothing, next to nothing corner in the world. And today people are ready to die for him. Why? After so many years. And same is with Prophet Muhammad. Why people are alleging their life to this man? And that's because I feel that these are the people who did not teach a value, not even that they practiced a value. They were the very embodiment of the value which just gets this. In management we call it as enrollment. And I would end with just 2 small anecdotes. The first anecdote goes like this, that Muhammad died at the age of 63 years. And the last few years he had a very high temperature and fever. And one afternoon, just before the evening prayer, he wakes up startled, and his young wife Aisha was sitting next to him, and he tells Aisha, oh Aisha, hold me, I'm confused. And he says, oh prophet of God, what is it that is confusing? He says, how much gold is there in the house? Now Michael Hart says that the man who's asking how much gold is in the house is an uncrowned king of half Asia by then, and 1/5 of the mankind. And then he says that in those days, amassing wealth was not uncommon for the kings. If only he wanted to amass wealth, he said that he could have had so much gold which could have covered Uhud mountain, which is the biggest mountain range of Medina. And he is asking how much gold is there in the house. And Aisha rummages through the entire house and brings 4 coins of gold. And this man keeps rolling it in his hand. And then Aisha says, what's bothering you? And then he says, oh Aisha, very soon I'm going to face my Lord. How will I justify this hoarding? Just 4 coins of gold. And Aisha understands, and that evening it was just given out. And then on the last day of his death, on the last day when he was dying, early in the morning, he wakes up startled again in the morning, and he tells Aisha, hold me, I'm really scared today. And Aisha says, oh Rasulullah, tell me what's bothering you. And he says, yeah Aisha, I'm going to meet my Lord very soon. He sent me down with a mission. And when he asked me, did I fulfill my promise, my commitment, what would be my answer? Will I be able to answer in affirmative to him? And to which Aisha simply opens the curtain of that little hut. Incidentally, you must know that when he died, he had that little hut with the mud walls, which he had built by his own hand, with the coconut fronds. And he had just 2 pairs of dress, which Michael Hart said had more stitches than cloth in that, and he had 1 dress for the special occasions. And he had 4 containers of barley and 1 milking goat. This all he left for his family when he died. And that morning, when he asked, will I be able to answer in affirmative, Aisha opens a curtain and says that, oh Rasulullah, look at the people outside. There were multitude of people who had come from far and wide because they knew that the man they loved was going. And he says that, Rasulullah, look at them. These are the very same people who burnt their girl child alive, who looted one another, who indulged in barbarism, who usurped others. And if today you have been able to turn their eye from their crime towards the Creator, I think you have done well. And there was a smile on his face, and then he was gone. And ladies and gentlemen, I love this man not because he is a Muslim leader. I love him for who he was. And today, if you ask me, which is the best religion in the world, after all my studies, with all my conviction in my heart, and without batting an eyelid, I can tell you which is the best religion in the world. That is a religion, your own religion. Trust me, there is no better religion than that. And if I can ask you one more question, even at the cost of contradicting English grammar, is there a better religion than that? Yes, there is a better religion than that. That's a religion that you Lions and the Rotarians are practicing. In fact, that's a religion of unsurpassed giving, unconditional love, and limitless compassion, and your relentless fight against all the ills that is plaguing the world. And today you don't know how blessed are you for practicing that religion, because, sir, this has got the essence of Hinduism, the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This has got the discipline of Islam. This has got the service motive of Christianity. This has got the compassion of Buddhism and the renunciation spirit of Jainism and the entire joy and jubilation of Sikhism, just about everything. And Mr. Mohideen keeps feeding me about what's happening in the Lion district, sir, under your able leadership, and he never fails in telling me, under your love, care and share program, what a repertoire of items that you are doing. And if Melvin Jones were alive today, I'm sure when Melvin Jones started this club 105 years back, I don't think that he had an idea that one day this will be a 1.5 million strong club. Yeah, in 46,000 clubs in 193 or maybe 200 countries. What an achievement. And you people have proved again and again that you are the relentless fighters against every ill plaguing this humanity. And I have got one request and one appeal to you and your team and the entire Lions. There are many ills that you have fought, but then the root of all the evils, the mother of all the evils, is hatred. And I think time has come to fight that. Call it by whatever name, Project Harmony, Project whatever. You people have made such a big success of your Sight First program, exactly the way the Rotarians have made the Polio Plus. I'm sure that this program would have started in an obscure club somewhere which became an international program. And sir, today is the day, and now is the time, and this land is the day. Because look at this land, the district that you're seeing. This land has been a melting pot of all religion, and this is a mini India. And for age immemorial, we have taken pride in the fact that irrespective of the religion, we all have lived as if we are the children of one single mother. But today what's happening, look at that. I mean, our heart bleeds, and head hangs in shame. And is it the world that we are going to leave behind? I tell you, sir, you have the wherewithal, you have the commitment, you have the organizational strength. Start this project because Muhurtam is right. There is an Eid, there is a Diwali, there is a thing. Start that, and I am sure that Eid is a small step. Like Neil Armstrong said, a small step for man and a huge leap for the mankind when he touched. This small step of yours, I am sure, will become a huge leap for Lions International Foundation. Please do that, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for this opportunity to have given me this talk to talk about this. And thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience here. And stay blessed always. Eid Mubarak. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Listening to this keynote speech by Umar TK, CMD TK's group, Bengaluru. I think audience here can very well relate to the introduction given by Vijay Vishnumaya. We can always tell about how very oraciously you have, spoken about all the holy books. I'm really from on behalf of Lions Club International 317D. Thank you so much, sir. I think the day is done with this Eid Sambrama 2022-23. Thank you so much once again. Moving on, we had under our Eid awardees, one student Eid awardee, mount stage and occupy the seat for your felicitation. May I request Lion Moidin Kunni to introduce Muhammad Abid Ali.
Muhammad Abid Ali, son of Mr. A.K. Jailani and Shamima, was born in 2006. Had his schooling at Infant Mary English Medium School, Katipalla. Master Abid has many laurels to his credit. Like he won the first place in the district level quiz competition, essay writing is good sportsman too. Favorite being football and chess. To top it all, this student has scored 625 marks out of 625. In his examination conducted in April 2022, he is being honored and awarded by various organizations by Jilladhikari DK Jilla Panchayat Mangalore, MEF Excellence Award 2022, Hidayat Foundation Dubai, etc. We wish Master Abid Ali a bright future. The team is proud to honor this brilliant boy. Thank you.
Received from International President is going to be handed over to Lion Maimuna Moidin and Moidin Kunni.
ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸುಂದರ ಈದ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಸಂಘಟಿಸಿದ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಇಷ್ಟು ವೈಭವದ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಗ್ಲಿಟರಿಂಗ್, ಇಷ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಸೇರಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಈದ್ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ಈ ವರ್ಷದ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ ಆದಂಥ ಮೈಮುನಾ ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನ್ ಅವರು ಸಂಘಟಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಹಲವಾರು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಈ ಕುಟುಂಬವನ್ನು ಹತ್ತಿರದಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದ ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನ್ ಅವರು ರೀಜನ್ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಆದ ದಿನದಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತಿನವರೆಗೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕೆನರಾ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ನಾನು ಹಲವಾರು ಬಾರಿ ತಮಾಷೆಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದುಂಟು, ಕೆನರಾ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮರ್ಜ್ ಆದದ್ದು ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ, ಆದರೆ ಇವರು ಸುಮಾರು 50 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಎಷ್ಟು 45 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಹಿಂದೆಯೇ ಕೆನರಾ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮರ್ಜ್ ಆದದ್ದು ವಿಶೇಷ. ಅಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳ ನಂತರ ಅದೇ 2 ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮೂಲಕ ಮರ್ಜ್ ಆದದ್ದು ಅದೊಂದು ವಿಶೇಷ. ಆದರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡಬೇಕಾದದ್ದು ಏನಂತೇಳಿದರೆ, ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಉಳಿದದ್ದು ಕೆನರಾ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ಸಿಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕು ಮಾಯ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನ್ ಏನೇ ಮಾಡಿದರೂ ಸಹ ಅದರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇರೋದು ಯಶಸ್ವಿ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಮೈಮುನಾ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನು ಈ ಲೈನಿಸಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಲವಾರು ಸೇವೆಗಳನ್ನು, ಹಲವಾರು ನಾಯಕತ್ವದ ಮಜಲುಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದರೂ ಸಹ ಅದರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನ್ ಅವರ ಶಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಇರುವ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಮೈಮುನಾ ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮ ಈದ್ ಸಂಭ್ರಮದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗೆ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇದರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಅವರ ಇಡೀ ಕುಟುಂಬ ದುಡಿದಿದೆ. ಬರೀ ಈದದ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ಸ್ DC ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮೈಮುನಾ ಮತ್ತು ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನ್ ಅವರ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಕುಟುಂಬ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಗಾಗಿ ದುಡಿದಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಕುಕ್ಕಾಡಿ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯವರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನ್ ಅವರ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ವಿಶೇಷ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕೀನೋಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಉಮರ್ ಅವರು, ಬಹುಶಃ ನಾವು ಹಲವಾರು ಈದ್ ಸಂಭ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹಲವಾರು ಜನ ಈ ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಲಯನ್ಸಿನ ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈದಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಇಸ್ಲಾಮಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಅದರ ರಿಚುವಲ್ಸಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಉಮರ್ ಅವರ ಭಾಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷತೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಅದು ಬರೀ ಇಸ್ಲಾಮಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳದೆ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಂಡು ಒಬ್ಬರು ಮಾತಾಡಿದರೆ ಅದು ಈ ಈದ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಮರ್ ಅವರದಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಅವರ ಕೊನೆ ಒಂದು ಆಶಯ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ದ ಲಯನ್ ಶುಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಹಾರ್ಮನಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಆಶಯ ಸಹ ಅದೇ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಬಹುಶಃ PDG ಆಲಿನ್ ಪತ್ರವರು ಇಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅವರ ಆಶಯ ಅದೇ ಆಗಿತ್ತಂತೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಅವರ ನಂತರ ಹಲವಾರು ಗವರ್ನರ್ಗಳು ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಈದ್, ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಮಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ದೀಪಾವಳಿ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸದಸ್ಯರು, ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಸದಸ್ಯರು, ಅತಿಥಿಗಳು, ಆಹ್ವಾನಿತರು ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಭಾಗವಹಿಸೋದು. ನಾನು ಹಿಂದೂ ಆಗಿ ಈದ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ, ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಮಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸೋದು, ಇದು ನಾವು ಬ್ರದರ್ಸ್. ವಿ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಎ ಲಯನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಬ್ರದರ್ಸ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್. ಈ ಚೌಕಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಭಾಗವಹಿಸೋದು. ಬಹುಶಃ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಕನಸು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಮುಂದಿನ ಒಂದು ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊಹಿದ್ದೀನ್ ಅವರು ದೀಪಾವಳಿ ಮಾಡಿ, ಓಸ್ವಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅವರು ಈದ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು, ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರು ದೀಪಾವಳಿಯ ಈದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಸಂಘಟಿಸುವ ದಿನ ಬಂದರೆ ಅವತ್ತು ಆ ಆಶಯ ಏನು ಆಲಿನವರು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆ ಆಶಯ ಆ ಎತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಏರಿದೆ ಲಯನ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಆ ದಿನಗಳು ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಲಯನ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡಿ ಬರಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಹಾರೈಕೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಸಂಘಟಿಸಬೇಕಾದರೆ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರು ಅವರ ಮನಸ್ಸು ದೊಡ್ಡದಿದ್ದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಂಥ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಸಂಘಟಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕರ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿನ್ನೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಸಂಜೆ 8 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನನಗೆ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಆಮೇಲೆ 9:30 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಗವರ್ನರ್ ಹೇಳಿದರು ನಾನು ಸಹ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಏನಿದ್ರು ಸಹ ನಾವು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ಹೋಗೋದು ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ನಾನು ಮೈಮುನಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನನಗೆ ನಾಳೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಏನು ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಹೀಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಒತ್ತಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಒಂದು ವಾರದ ಹಿಂದೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆದರೂ ಸಹ ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಗವರ್ನರ್ ಅವರ ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಯಿತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸುಂದರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಈ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯನ್ನು ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ನಡೆಸ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಮಹಿಳೆಗೆ ಪ್ರಗತಿಯವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಬಂಧುಗಳಿಗೆ ಶುಭ ಹಾರೈಸ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್.
ಗುಡ್ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್, ನಮಸ್ತೆ. ವರ್ಷದ ಆರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಗವರ್ನರ್ ಈ ದಿನ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡುವುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರು. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮೈಮೂನನ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬೆರಳು ತೋರಿಸಿದೆವು. ಆದರೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮೈಮೂನರವರು ಬೇರೆಯವರ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬೆರಳು ತೋರಿಸದೆ ಮೇಹೂನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಮೈಮೂನಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ರವರ ಮೇಹೂನ ಇವತ್ತು ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿದೆ, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ತಂಡದವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹೈಲೈಟ್ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಜನಾಬ್ ಹುಮಾರ್ ಟಿಕೆ ಅವರ ಭಾಷಣ, ಸ್ಪೀಚ್. ಅವರ ಮಾತುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಧರ್ಮದ ತಿರುಳು ಒಂದೇ, ಅರ್ಥ ಒಂದೇ, ನಾನು ಯಾರು ಎಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡುವುದು, ನನ್ನ ಒಳಗೆ ಶಾಂತಿ ಹುಡುಕುವುದು ಅಂತ. ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಳಗೆ ಶಾಂತಿ ಹುಡುಕುವುದರ ಬದಲಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮದೇ ಸರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇತರರಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಒಳಗೆ ಶಾಂತಿ ಹುಡುಕುವುದರ ಬದಲಿಗೆ ಉಳಿದವರ ಶಾಂತಿಯನ್ನು ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡುವ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರೊಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಿದರು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ವೆರಿ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ಫುಲ್. ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಈ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಧರ್ಮ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮ ಧರ್ಮ ಅಂತ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಯಾವುದು ಧರ್ಮವನ್ನು ಪಾಲಿಸಿದ್ದೇವ ಅದೇ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮ ಧರ್ಮ ಅಂತ. ಉಮರ್ ಸರ್, thank you so much for that wonderful message. During your speech, I was trying my best to divert my mind, but I could not, sir, because your speech was awesome. Thank you so much once again. ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಈದಂದರೆ ಸಂತೋಷದ ಸಮಯ, ಸಂಭ್ರಮಿಸುವ ಸಮಯ. ಈ ಸಂತೋಷ, ಈ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸದಾ ಇರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಆಶಿಸ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಮಾತು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಲಾಂಗ್ ಲಿವ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್.
ಇವತ್ತು ಬಹಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ವಿಷಯ, ಏಕೆಂತೇಳಿದರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಭಾಭವನವೇ ತುಂಬಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಈದ್ ಮುಬಾರಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೊಂದು ಸಂತೋಷದ ಹಬ್ಬ. ಈ ಹಬ್ಬವನ್ನು ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮೈಮುನಾ ಅವರ ತಂಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಮೊಟ್ಟ ಮೊದಲದಾಗಿ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಏನು ನಾವು ಬಂದಾಗ 5:30 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಒಳಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಬಹಳ ಆಕರ್ಷಣೆಯ ಒಂದು ಸಂಭ್ರಮದ ಹಬ್ಬ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅವರು ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಫೋರ್ಟ್ ಮೂಲಕ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದರು. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಪಾಪ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸನ್ನು ಸಹ ಇವತ್ತು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ಅದು ಬಹಳ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಹಾಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು 3 ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಅವರನ್ನು ಗೌರವಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್, ಅವರನ್ನು ಸಹ ಇವತ್ತು ಗುರುತಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿವಿಧ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಮೆರುಗು ನೀಡಿ ಬಹಳ ವಿಜೃಂಭಣೆಯಿಂದ ಆಚರಿಸುವ ಹಬ್ಬ ಇವತ್ತು ಈದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕೀನೋಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಉಮರ್ ಅವರು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನವನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತು ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅನುಭವ ಅದರೊಂದಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಬೆರೆತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೌಹಾರ್ದತೆಯಿಂದ ಸಹೋದರಿಯರಾಗಿ ಬದುಕಿ ಬಾಳೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾ ಇದೊಂದು ಈ ದಿನ ಈ ಒಂದು 4 ಅಂಶಗಳೊಡನೆ ನಾನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಸಹೋದರತೆ ಸಾರುವ ಹಬ್ಬ ಈದಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಬಡವ ಬಲ್ಲಿದರ ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವ ಗೋಡೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊಡೆದು ಒಂದು ಹಂತದವರೆಗೆ ಸಮಾನತೆಯನ್ನು ಕಾಯ್ದುಕೊಂಡು ಬರುವುದೇ ಈದ್ ಹಬ್ಬದ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠೆ. ಮನುಷ್ಯನಾಗಿರುವ ನಡುವೆ ಜಾತಿಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ನಡೆಯುವ ತಿಕ್ಕಾಟ ಈ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಉದಯಿಸುವ ಈ ಹಬ್ಬವೇ ಈದ್ ಎಂದು ಹೇಳುವರು. ಸಮಾನತೆಯ ಬದುಕಿಗೆ ನಾಂದಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಸೌಹಾರ್ದತೆಯ ಬದುಕಿಗೆ ಬಾಂಧವ್ಯತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಬರುವುದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಹೋದರ ಸಹೋದರಿಯರು ಇವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಶಾಂತಿ ಸೌಹಾರ್ದತೆಯನ್ನು ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಬರುವ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಈದ್ ಹಬ್ಬವನ್ನು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ವಿಭಿನ್ನಶೀಲಿಯಾಗಿ ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂದಿನ ಈ ಸಂತಸದ ಹಬ್ಬದ ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಮನುಕುಲದ ಶಾಂತಿಗಾಗಿ, ಸುಭಿಕ್ಷೆಗಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಗಾಗಿ ದೇವರಲ್ಲಿ ಐಕ್ಯತೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ಶುಭ ದಿನದಂದು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸಿ ಈದ್ ಹಬ್ಬವನ್ನು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಹುರುಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ವಿಜೃಂಭಣೆಯಿಂದ ಆಚರಿಸುವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಅವಕಾಶಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ವಂದಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಲಾಂಗ್ ಲಿವ್ ಲಯನೆಸ್.
ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
Felicitation, the last person to speak is the past multiple council chairperson, Lion V.U. Simon from Home Club of Maimuna Mohideen, Suratkal, Lions Club Suratkal.
Chief guest of the day, Janab Umar T.K., distinguished Lion leaders on the dais, Lions, ladies and gentlemen. Eid Mubarak. God came into this world with a message of love. Every religion came into this world to spread that message of love. Every person came into this world to enjoy the joy of love. How wonderful the world will be if we all link together with love as we do in our organization. Friends, today the world is in turmoil. World is witnessing degenerative illnesses. Religious fundamentalists are raising their uglyhood and do irreparable damage to the human fabric. Today, the nations invade other nations for their political gains. Today, hatred speeches are made for political gains. This is the time. Probably the role of our organization, as our chief guest said, is more meaningful and significant. Today, we have to, when evil men bomb and burn, good people like us should bind and build. Today, when religious fundamentalists do such a damage to our organization, our mankind, we should spread the message of love and unite the people. That has been the object of Lions organization. International relations among the people of the world is the fundamental object of Lions organization. Our chief guest today spoke so wonderfully. I was really touched. Young brother Umar, I can call you my younger brother because I am also from the same alma mater. Of course, I passed out in 1968 from the then Karnataka Regional Engineering College. I also thank you for mentioning and remembering our great Professor Gajendra Gad. I don't know how many of you know that Professor Gajendra Gad was a lion of Mangala Gangotri Club, and he has been a very active lion during our times. When I was the district governor in 91-92, he was a very, very vehement speaker, courageous, very speaker par excellence and thinker and philosopher. He also taught me in the Karnataka Regional Engineering College. He became the Vice Chancellor of Karnataka University later. And he became the regional chairman in the year 1994-95. It is only to, I know, 90% of the Lions today do not know me also because all are new members. We are our old guards of the Lions organization. I am very grateful that I am being given a chance to speak to you on this great occasion when my younger brother, I called him because I was so inspired by his speech. Thank you, Umar, for that great speech and invoking the ideals of Lionism in front of this great gathering. And my best wishes and my congratulations to the team Eid for organizing such a great function. Long live Lionism. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
So thank you so much, past District Governor V.U. Seaman from Lions Club, Surathkal. It's now Chief Coordinator Maimuna Moidin's time.
So we are coming to the fag end of the district celebration. In tune with the district governor's slogan, love, care and share, it's time now to share some love and care. First of all, my heartfelt thanks to my family members who are here, right in front. Sakina, Naza, my brother Usman Kokadi, niece, Khatija, nephew, Nehan. And I remember, he used to tell me, Maimuna, Maihuna. So the same thing, Rashida, my sister-in-law, And special thanks to my sister-in-law, Rashida, who has arranged this whole function. I mean, since last 2 days, she's here in this venue. Okay, I'll call her next. First of all, I want to express my thanks to our team Eid, who have been round the clock on this event. And I request them to come and accept a memento from me. Now, our Lions who has helped me at the backstage, Lion Usha Manoj, Jayan Shetty and Shashkala Shetty, please come and accept a memento from me. This is the time to thank all of you, all my Lions family, who have helped me in all ways, morally, financially, and I can say our leader, Lion Sanjay Shetty, had given me this opportunity to be the Eid coordinator, but I had always accepted a portfolio with respect to special children. But our leader told me, this time you take this Eid coordinator. So I accepted, and I hope you all had a nice time. I sincerely thank all the donors who have supported me for this event. And I'm sorry I won't be able to call each one of you to the stage. So thank you once again to all of you. But I would like to mention a few Lions who have supported us with their generous contributions. I call upon Lion Muhammad Ashraf, Lion Lubna Asif from Mangalore Club. Please, madam, come on to the stage. Lion Alvin Norona, my home club president, please come to this stage, sir. Rashida Usman, my sister-in-law, who has told me, you don't worry, I will take care of everything. Rashida, please come and accept a small rose from me, please. Mr. Rangaraj, who has come specially from Trivandrum to attend this function of mine. Thank you, sir. My leader, District Governor, District 317D. And again, I want to thank the two little girls who were applying mehendi. Please come.
All the ladies and gentlemen who have witnessed the melodious voice of Master Zifran. If you're here, please come on stage as quickly as possible. So we want to hear more from you immediately after we finish our stage formal function. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. You will be listening, if you have not till now, to Master Zifran. He has sung as a background singer for Malayalam film songs and also is a contestant for Little Champ Sarigamapa, which is in Z Channel. A huge round of applause to Master Zifran.
इस ईद संभ्रम की आप सबको शुभकामनाएं. ಈದ್ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ಇರುವ ಪ್ರಯುಕ್ತ ಹಿಂದಿ ಮತ್ತು ಉರ್ದು ಕೊರತೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಈ ಭಾಷೆಯನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. जैसे कहते हैं कि एक लीडर इज़ ए डीलर इन होप, ऐसे ही प्रेसिडिंग ऑफिसर और ई संभ्रम के डिस्ट्रिक्ट चीफ कोऑर्डिनेटर लयन मैमुना मोयुद्दीन जी, जिन्होंने इसे अनोखा बनाने के लिए कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी, मैं इस ई संभ्रम की ओर से इनका हार्दिक धन्यवाद समर्पित करती हूँ. जैसे कन्नड़ में कहते हैं कि ಜಯಶಾಲಿ ಆದವನು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಭಿನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೆ ಮಾಡುವ ಕೆಲಸ ವಿಭಿನ್ನವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡುವವನು. ऐसे ही हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट 317D की शान हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट गवर्नर, जिन्होंने कदम कदम पर मार्गदर्शन देकर ई संभ्रम को सफल बनाया और लव से केयर करके हैप्पीनेस को शेयर करने वाले मिस्टर लयन संजीव शेट्टी सर को ई संभ्रम की ओर से हार्दिक धन्यवाद समर्पण करती हूँ. और साथ साथ प्रगति मैडम जी, जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट की प्रथम महिला हैं, इनका भी अभिनंदन करती हूँ. सौम्य स्वभाव के मल्टीपल काउंसिल चेयरपर्सन लयन वसंत कुमार शेट्टी सर को भी धन्यवाद समर्पित करती हूँ. और मधुर आवाज़ की मालिकिन दिव्या वसंत कुमार शेट्टी सर का भी अभिनंदन करती हूँ. उमर टीके CMD टीकेस ग्रुप बैंगलोर, इन्होंने कहा व्हाट इज़ रिलीजन? यस, इट इज़ ह्यूमैनिटी, इक्वालिटी. इनकी बातों से मुझे अल्लामा इकबाल के कुछ शब्द याद आ गए. जैसे उन्होंने कहा है, मज़हब नहीं सिखाता आपस में बैर रखना, मज़हब नहीं सिखाता आपस में बैर रखना, हिंदी है हम वतन के, हिंदुस्तान हमारा. तो I thank on behalf of this auspicious gathering for your valuable message, sir. Thank you, sir. और मैं जुबेदा मैडम जी का भी शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ, जिन्होंने इस सभा मंच की शान बढ़ा दी. ई संभ्रम के गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर जनाब इनायत अली साहब, जिन्होंने कुछ कारण से आना सके, उनका भी उनकी अनुपस्थिति में मैं धन्यवाद समर्पण करती हूँ. आने वाले हमारे प्यारे से हसमुख गवर्नर लयन मेलविन डिसोजा और भारती मैडम जी, जिन्होंने इस ईद संभ्रमा को 4 चांद लगा दिए हैं, इनका भी मैं हार्दिक धन्यवाद समर्पण करती हूँ. इस सभा मंच पर उपस्थित सभी कैबिनेट सदस्यों को, जिन्होंने अपने मार्गदर्शन से इसे सींचा, इसे सफल बनाने के लिए अपना साप्रेम सहायता की, इन सब का मैं ई संभ्रम की ओर से धन्यवाद समर्पण करती हूँ. ई संभ्रम के सभी सदस्यों का और इससे ज़्यादा ई संभ्रम के सभी सदस्यों का, जिन्होंने धन मन से इसे सफल बनाने में साथ दिया और मार्गदर्शन दिया, इनका भी हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट गवर्नर और डिस्ट्रिक्ट चीफ कोऑर्डिनेटर की ओर से मैं हार्दिक शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ। लयन मोहिउद्दीन कुन्नी सर, जो इस ईद संभ्रम के मुख्य सलाहकार हैं, जिन्होंने अपना संपूर्ण वक्त इसे सफल बनाने में लगा दिया, आपका भी शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ सर। सभी आदरणीय PDGs, जिन्होंने अपने अनुभव द्वारा हमें प्रोत्साहित किया, मार्गदर्शन दिया, आपका भी हार्दिक शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ सर। फलक से चांद उतरा है, सितारे मुस्कुराए हैं, इस ईद संभ्रम की खुशी में आप सभी आए हैं। यहाँ पर आए हुए ऑल द लायंस फ्रॉम द डिस्ट्रिक्ट, इनवाइटेड गेस्ट, मीडिया पर्सन, सुंदर ढंग से MC करने वाले और सम्मानित लोग, और इस संभ्रम में धनराशि देकर डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली हमें सपोर्ट करने वाले, और जो भी इस ईद संभ्रम के लिए कंट्रीब्यूशन दिए हैं, उन सब का भी मैं हार्दिक दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ सर। अंत में बस इतना ही कहना चाहती हूँ कि ना जाने कब मौत का पैगाम आ जाए, ना जाने कब मौत का पैगाम आ जाए, ना जाने कब ज़िंदगी की शाम हो जाए। मुझे दोस्तों इंतज़ार है उस दिन का, कब ये ज़िंदगी किसी के काम आ जाए। थैंक यू वन एंड ऑल, लव ए ग्रेट टाइम, जय हिंद, लॉन्ग लिव लयनिज़म।